Do it. We're recording.
Sure. Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining our Team Plant Strong Monday night training. We are so excited that we get to host the founder and CEO of Teamzy, Eric Johnson. Thank you so much for joining us. We are just going to hand it over to him, and we're going to glean some awesome wisdom. So thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here. As Nicole mentioned, my name is Eric Johnson, creator and CEO of Teamzy. And how many of you guys are already using Teamzy? I know there's probably a couple of you. Okay, great. For those of you who aren't using it or haven't tried it, a couple things I want you to know about it. First of all, it is software. It's software that helps make your life easy. You can get all your DMO done in less than an hour a day. And honestly, it's going to be more than you ever thought you were capable of doing in less than an hour a day. And but beyond that, it's based on a principle of relationship marketing. It's designed to help you build relationships in a systematic way. So it's kind of a slightly different approach than maybe what you've seen in the past too. So tonight, what I want to do is I want to teach you a little bit about relationship marketing. Okay, and then I'm going to take you into Teamzy. I'll show you how to set it up. I'll show you the best workflows for a power hour, right? So you can absolutely crush it. What do I mean by a power hour? Honestly, I mean you can connect easily with 20 people every day in less than 20 minutes. I'm going to show you how to do that, how to start conversations with people, how to take those conversations into inviting them about your business when appropriate, and then how to follow up on those invites like a pro. Most of the people I talk to, and I've had the honor of training over 100,000 network marketers in the last 3 years, most of the people I talk to let about 80% of their leads go through the cracks. I'm going to show you guys tonight how to tighten that up, get it as close to 100% as possible. Okay, so it's going to be fun. And then at the end, we'll do a question and answer. If you have questions for me, you can just ask me anything at the end and I'll be happy to go through it, show you whatever you want to do. Also, you're all muted just for the sake of focus, but if you feel the spirit move you in the middle and you have to ask or say something, you can unmute and do it. I've left you guys the ability to manage yourselves that way. Okay, let's get started. So the first thing I want to talk about is, here we go, how to leverage relationship marketing to become a power hour boss. Everybody's got all these different bosses these days, right? Mom boss, girl boss, babe boss. I want to be a power hour boss because I want to have my business building done in 1 hour. Then I can really enjoy my day. So let's talk a little bit about this. Just some background on me before we jump in, for those of you who don't know me. My background is in coaching and consulting. I've been professional business coach for 16 years, helping people build their business. And I fell into network marketing by accident. It wasn't really a plan. I focused mostly in the real estate industry. That's where I coached people. And I found some products that helped me. They helped me regain my health. I lost 60 pounds in 100 days, got fit, got healthy, started living a healthier lifestyle. And I was really excited about it and just was sharing what I was doing with people naturally. When I realized that there was a tremendous business opportunity, I took a good look at it. As somebody who looks at businesses for a living, I looked at it and said, okay, I think I'd like to do this on the side, but I only have 1 hour extra a day. How many of you guys have 1 hour and that's about it? Yeah, that was me. And so I looked at it and said, okay, well, if I was coaching myself in this business, the first thing I would tell myself to do is go find some tools to help me leverage my time. Because you can be very busy for an hour a day and get nothing done. Is that true? Yeah. And what I knew and what I had taught people to do, the system that I had taught people to work for years, it required a lot of planning. I mean, to really be efficient for an hour, you needed to put 2 hours of planning in. And I didn't have time for that. So I started looking for some tools. Long story short, I didn't find anything in our industry that was simple enough for me to use. There were some overcomplicated tools out there, nor did I find anything that was focused on building relationships. And as I'm going to teach you tonight, I believe the best way to build this business, not only the most effective way, but also the most fulfilling without burning out, is by focusing on relationships first. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that. So let's circle back to this question. What is relationship marketing? Most people think that relationship marketing is selling stuff to your friends. In fact, when you probably approach people about your business, that's what they think you want them to do. And yeah, of course, a lot of your friends will purchase your products, but that's not the point of relationship marketing. It's about focusing on building relationships as your marketing strategy. And I want you guys to understand at the outset of our call today that relationship marketing is a lead generation system. It's a lead generation system. That's a system that initiates consumer interest or inquiry into the products or services of a business. I know, yawn, it's like a boring business school definition, right? But the reason why is I want you to understand that marketing Juice Plus products is not your business. Your business is lead generation. You're in the lead generation business. See, you're not a salesperson, you're a business owner. And your job is to generate leads to your business. So it doesn't matter how many sales you made today or distributors you signed. If you didn't do work that will generate new leads for your business, you didn't actually build the business today. Make sense? Okay, it's just a mindset shift. Now, here's an important principle I want you to understand, that with relationship marketing, developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. Developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. So you're in the lead generation business, so you can build, in other words, you need to meet people so that you can build relationships with them. Honestly, that's how simple the system is. Meet people, build relationships with them, okay? But of course, you needed some how-to, so we'll get there. What do we do with those relationships? We turn them into advocates by investing time and providing outstanding service. We turn our relationships into advocates by investing time and providing outstanding service. I want you all to understand, a relationship is worth hundreds of sales. So when you meet somebody, don't think about, will this person buy? Will this person join my team? Think about how this person can become an advocate and bring hundreds of people to this business. Make sense? Okay. Next principle. I know I'm going through them quickly. Hang on. It's going to be packed with content as fast as I can tonight. But we are recording too, which is good. Next principle, relationship marketing depends on trust. Relationship marketing depends on trust. In other words, if you're a jerk, this ain't going to work. Okay? How many of you have met people in this business who maybe weren't very trustworthy? Or shady is the technical term I like to use. A little bit shady. Maybe not as far as untrustworthy, but just a little bit shady, right? Unfortunately, the way this business has been built for the past 20 years or so has given it a bad reputation. Have you come across people who feel this business has a bad reputation? It is because a lot of what our industry teaches is still based on the old school version of sales, where the salesperson has all the information and tries to control the dialogue. We live in an age where people have all the information in the world at their fingertips. That's why relationships is where it's at, and building trust is where it's at. Does this make sense? Now, what's fun is trust makes the work fun. If somebody trusts you, even just a little bit, you don't have to convince them. You don't have to sell them. You don't have to worry about what they Google. You can get right to helping them. Make sense? Also, trust takes the ickiness out of the sales process. You'll never feel like an icky salesperson if you build trust. How many of you are like me? You're just afraid of being the icky salesperson. That's me, big time. And you get to go for yes. You get to go for yes. Instead of going for no in your business, you're going for yes in your business. Okay, so how do you build trust? I'm going to share with you the 4 essential ingredients to building trust. Okay, and I'll go through them quickly, and then we'll break them down for you. Number 1 is chemistry. Number 2 is character. Number 3 is competence. Okay, competence. And number 4 is consistency. Chemistry, character, competence, consistency. So let's go through these quickly. Chemistry. Chemistry is where you have common ground with someone. What is it about you they can relate to? Okay, chemistry is where you have common ground with someone. What is it about you they can relate to? The easiest way to look at chemistry is this. You need to ask questions and find out what you have in common. People do not want to do business with someone they don't like. Make sense? And on the flip side of that, people would like to do business with a friend. So what's the easiest thing to look for on this? Find out what you have in common, and also be careful not to divide. Be careful not to divide people. Okay? If you have a strong opinion on something that is a divisive opinion as a business owner, I would just share that with my closest friends and family. Does that make sense? And teach your team that too. Unless you have such an amazing team in business that it's okay, you can just alienate 50% of the population and still grow with the other half. I know people like that. Some of you guys may too, but most people starting out, I look at it like this. You help every single person with a human body, right? That's your audience. They all have different beliefs and different ideas and different thoughts. Number 2 is character. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you're relatable. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you're relatable. In other words, character is not something you have, it's something you do. Okay? It's something you do. We think character is something we have, and we often get offended if somebody questions our integrity, right? How dare you? But the bottom line is it's our duty to demonstrate our care for other people. And character needs to show up in everything we do. The way we talk, the way we walk, the way we do our business, the way we serve our customers, the way we drive in traffic, right? Character has to be, as a business owner, you are your brand, and there's no separating what you do in your life from your business. Everything you do reflects on it. So make sure that you're reflecting the care and the character that you want to. Number 3, competence. Competence. Oh, one thing on character, I love this little saying. One of my my mentors used to say this: you can't have a good deal with a bad guy. You guys ever hear that? You can't make a good deal with a bad guy. That's why character is so important. It doesn't matter how awesome what you have is. If people don't understand your character, there's no good deal that could be made. Number 3, competence. Competence is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do and you're a business person. Okay, competence is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do and you're a business person. I need to know, can you help me? Can you help me? Are you knowledgeable enough about your product? If I have high blood pressure and I'm struggling to get off my medication, do you know a story of somebody else like that? Do you know how these products can help my health? Are you competent enough to help me solve my problems? That's the first step of building trust. The second piece is, do I trust you to mentor me in this business? Are you a business person? Do I feel like you are the person whose team I want to join? I need to see you demonstrating those things. 1, to become your customer. 2, to become your distributor. Okay. Now, new people. We have any new people on the call tonight? New-ish people? New people are often told, don't worry about it, just fake it till you make it. Have you guys ever heard someone say that? Just fake it till you make it. I just want you guys to know, you don't want to fake it. By the way, just to give context, a lot of people think that fake it till you make it means like pretend you're rich when you don't. With real estate agents, it was like lease a Mercedes when I don't have enough money to pay for rent, right? So that it looks like I'm successful. That whole fake it till you make it thing, just a little side note, it's about attitude. It's a Zig Ziglarism about having a positive attitude even when you don't feel positive. That's what fake it till you make it is supposed to be. So we don't want to fake competence because that violates trust. But you don't need to fake competence because when you're new, you just lean into the competence of your team. You let people know, I'm new, but I am one text message away from the most knowledgeable people in this business. Any questions you have, I can have it answered for you. Same thing with joining my team. Hey, I'm new, but together we'll be mentored by the best. Look at the organization I'm in. So new people, don't fake it. Lean into the competence of your team. Lean into the competence of your upline. Let people know it's there for them to access as well. So chemistry, character, and competence. I'm going to give you a principle on these real quick, and then we'll move on to number 4. Here's the principle. People only care about 3 things. This is when they're going to do business with you. They only care about 3 things. Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Are you good at what you do? Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Are you good at what you do? Think about it. You may not have ever thought about this, but if you think about all the different transactions you've done in your life, this is what's important to you too. And it's the kind of thing that is more felt than thought. But I want you guys to understand this is the core. At the core of any decision to do business with somebody is right here. And you may get objections in your business. When you do come up against objections, they are stemming from these questions. Doesn't matter what the objection is, it's coming from this. It's, can I trust you? I don't know if I can trust you. I don't know if you care about me yet. I'm not sure how good you are at what you do yet. And that's okay. You overcome the objections like a pro, right? I'm sure as Michelle's teaching you, right? But keep investing in the relationship. Keep investing in the relationship. Over time, you will build that trust and these questions will go away. They will know that they're true. Okay. Number 4. Fourth ingredient for building trust, consistency. Consistency. Let me see parents. Who's got kids? How important is being consistent to gaining trust of your kids? It's huge, right? Isn't it funny? Kids will never forget the one time you're inconsistent. They bring it back all the time. Hey, remember that time you set the precedent? I can have ice cream for breakfast. Okay, consistency, though, is where it's at. And we know how important consistency is for our own success. But you have to understand is that you being consistent is the number one way to build trust in others. My wife says it like this: don't tell me, show me. And don't show me once, because that doesn't count, right? You got to show me lots of times. Consistency. I love this principle about consistency. People respect consistency and desire it for themselves. People respect consistency and desire it for themselves. By the way, this principle is paraphrased from one of my favorite books. I'll recommend it to you. It's called Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion by Robert Cialdini. Have you guys ever read this book? Put it on your list if you haven't. It's an awesome book. And one of the chapters is about consistency, it being the primary motivator for people. Consistency. Who knew? Right? People want to be consistent. They're attracted to people who are. How many of you are really good about taking your Juice Plus daily, living the product out in your lives? Okay, great. That's consistency, right? That's important. That's important. I had a guy in my boot camp, Juice Plus distributor. He says, I stopped taking my Juice Plus for 4 months just to see if I felt different. I said, why did you do that? He's like, I just want to see if I felt different. I said, how do you feel? He goes, I feel like crap. You don't need to do an experiment like that. Just be consistent. The research has been done. Just be consistent, right? How many of you are consistent about sharing your story on social media? Good. I got some hands and a couple head wiggles. That's okay. But again, consistency, right? Those of you who are consistent sharing on social media, have you been told by others that you are inspiring? Have you been told, wow, you're so inspiring? And you think, me? I'm inspiring? But what is it about you that's inspiring? It's your consistency. It's your consistency. People see you committed to a healthy lifestyle. They see you committed to helping other people do it, taking your kids through it. And it's attractive. Consistency not only builds trust, but it attracts people to you. It's like an extra marketing program, if that makes sense. All right, I want to explain this. The next question I have for you is, you're consistent taking your products, you're consistent posting on social, but how are you with your relationships? Are you as consistent with your relationships, with connecting with people, staying in touch with people? Okay, because you have to understand this principle. People won't believe you until they see you. People won't believe you till they see you. Do I have any good skeptics that are like, I believe it when I see it kind of personalities? Usually if there's a married couple, you got one of them. 1 out of 2, right? People won't believe you till they see you. And I'm just going to give you an example. You go on social media, you share your story. It's amazing. You'd have this amazing post about how your life has changed. And in the post, you invite people, hey, if you'd like to learn more about what I'm doing, just comment. Just comment and I'll get you some more information. You know, and you get like 3 people that comment that aren't already in Juice Plus. And that's great. You got 3 people interested. That was a great post. But what about the other 1,900 friends on Facebook or on Instagram that aren't liking or commenting on that post? What happened to those guys? And what I want you guys to understand is, in most cases, those people are watching. They're seeing that post. They're seeing it. They're watching. But they don't believe you are inviting them. They're watching you like a TV show. Oh, I can't wait to see what she does with this. Great. Oh, good for her. She's doing something good again. But they don't believe why would they think you're inviting them personally? You haven't talked to them since high school, right? Just being Facebook friends, we have this illusion that we're connected and we are up to date a little bit with what's happening in each other's lives, but it's not the same as connecting with each other. People won't believe you until they see you. They won't believe you until you start connecting one-on-one with them. Okay, relationship building is a contact sport. You have to be in regular contact with people if you want to have a relationship with them. In fact, I will tell you that you need to be in contact with every person you know on a regular basis. I know that seems overwhelming. I know your time is scarce, but that's why we built Teamzy, and I'll show you how easy it is with Teamzy as we go here in a second. Here's the last principle I want to share with you before we jump into Teamzy. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Just really quick, let me see your faces. If your camera's off, turn it on for just a minute so I can see you for a second. Or I'll think you're in the other room making a sandwich, which is okay too. Okay, just really quick, how many of you have ever received from somebody a great card? You know, like the kind where they hand wrote a message and it was a beautiful message that really touched your heart. How many of you have ever received a card like that? Okay, great. Hopefully everybody's received at least one. If you haven't ever gotten a card like that, can you put your address in chat? Well, I'll send you one. Okay. So what happens to that card after you read it? You have this beautiful message. It touches your heart, and then you just crumble it in a little ball and throw it in the trash and say, that was nice, thanks. How many of you guys throw away cards like that? Let me see. Nobody. How many of you keep them? You save them. You can't part with them. The worst is when you go to move and you're like, what am I going to do with all these cards? But you still can't part with them, right? You bring them with you. In fact, when we pass away, some of those cards are kept by our kids, aren't they? I bet some of you have letters or cards from loved ones who've passed on. What an amazing thing that we value it as a priceless heirloom, right? Now, on the flip side, I recently received this. This is a happy birthday postcard. Can you guys see that? It's a happy birthday postcard from my life insurance salesman. You guys ever get these from businesses or whatever? Yeah, it's nice, right? Is it nice? It's nice. Does this go in the special card place? No way. This might not even make it in the house, right? How many of you have a trash can in the garage where this stuff goes? Right? Yeah, totally. I only kept it so I can make fun of it relentlessly on calls. I won't tell you his name. Because it's nice. Look, here's what this is. This is like a Facebook post on your wall. It's nice and people see it. But it's not a personal connection, is it? This doesn't get saved. It doesn't have value, whereas the other card might be saved for generations. What's the difference? This requires no time. No time was invested in this, okay? And it wasn't a personal connection. It has no value. Meanwhile, the handwritten card was an investment of undivided attention. Do you think they were playing with Facebook while writing you that message? They couldn't. Undivided attention invested in just you. So meaningful. Now, do you need to be writing letters and cards all day long in your business? No. But I do recommend it as much as you can. Send people written notes. Oh my gosh, they'll save them forever. Okay? Especially your team members and things when they hit milestones. Send them notes. They'll save them forever. In some cases, they frame them, right? I have a few framed from special mentors that have sent me over the years. I mean, how cool is that? No, but you can still make a huge impact in someone's day just by messaging them on Facebook or texting them, right? A personal message. I call it a make someone's day message, just getting in the make someone's day mindset. I'm going to get a little more into this as we go. But as you connect with people one-on-one, you make a huge impact because nobody does this. Nobody takes time out to connect with other people. And what will happen, magical things will happen when you start using Teamzy this way. I'll show you guys in a second, and Nicole and probably some other people who are using it can probably testify to this, is that you'll be amazed. You'll connect with somebody after years, and it was the moment they needed somebody to help them with, just to be there for them at that exact moment. And you just showed up at that moment because you felt like connecting. It makes such a deep, unbelievable impact. All right. So the principle, again, investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Okay, so here's the thing. All this is well and good and great, and you guys are like, I like this guy, digging me, I agree with him, he's got a good heart. But you can't just feel good about connecting with people. You need a system. You got to have a system. You have to have a way to stay in contact with everybody, okay? There's no way to do that without a system. You should know when to contact them and when not to contact them. In other words, you shouldn't have to spend all day figuring out who to connect with today. And know what to say, so you don't stare at your screen all day long trying to come up with a perfect message. Just, what can I say to start this conversation quickly and efficiently, and make sure that nobody falls through the cracks. I mentioned at the beginning of our call tonight that I think about 80% of people in our industry are falling through the cracks. It's a huge number. I'll explain that as I talk to you guys about follow-up today. You need a system. Obviously, I'm going to show you that system. It's Teamzy, right? Well, let's jump in there real quick. Let me see here. Hold on, let me just close these. People are messaging me left and right. You guys don't need to see all those messages. All right, where's Teamzy? Let's do it, jump in here. Okay, so here's my Teamzy dashboard. If you've never seen Teamzy, here it is. It is super easy to set up. I'm gonna show you right now. If you haven't started using Teamzy, two things I want you guys to understand. First, there's a 30-day free trial. It's free, full access for 30 whole days. We don't ask for a credit card or anything weird. I want you to use it for 30 days and create some business. Okay, and I'll show you tonight how to do that. I believe that if you use it for 30 days, you'll be able to pay for a whole year subscription that first 30 days from the activity you did for free. Now, what's amazing is, we've been working with Juice Plus distributors for how long now? 6 months or so, which is pretty awesome. And you've heard about Teamzy, you've heard the buzz. Some of you may or may not know that we've actually received the endorsement from the Juice Plus company to be the CRM of choice for Juice Plus distributors, which is an incredible honor. So that said, at the end of your 30-day free trial, if you guys love Teamzy, you can continue on. And because you're Juice Plus distributors and it's been negotiated on your behalf by the company, you get a discounted rate, almost 35% off what every other network would pay for Teamzy, which is pretty cool. Okay, so let me just show you how this works. Once you get into your free trial, the first thing you're gonna do is go in and set it up. Now, Teamzy has a setup wizard that walks you through the process of setup. I'm gonna launch it again from the settings right here. So let's go through this really quick. That's me. So what you'll do in Setup Wizard is 3 things. We're gonna set your income goal. Okay, we're gonna set an income goal. Once Teamzy has your income goal, it will tell you what to do every day to hit it, which is pretty cool. You'll actually know what to do every day. The second thing we're gonna do is help you create a powerful why. Okay, I'll explain that in a second, but without that, you're not going very far. And then we're gonna get all your contacts into Teamzy, everything in one place, organized. No more pads of paper, sticky notes, spreadsheets you never update, right? It'll all be in one place. All right, let's go. First step, put an income goal. You'll have an empty box. You can see I put $150,000 as my income goal. What annual income level would you like to be at 12 months from now? Okay, what annual income level would you like to be at 12 months from now? Just put the number in. Now, for those of you who already are making significant income from Juice Plus, what I want you to do is put the difference in as your goal, the difference, how much you want to grow it in 12 months, okay? But for most people, it's just our annual income level. Okay, so I put 150,000 in. Let's hit continue to the next page. And that's gonna now tell me what I need to do to hit it. So Teamzy's telling me that I need to connect with 4,348 people over the next 12 months. How many of you think that's a lot of people? That's a lot of people. How many of you think going to getting $150,000 a year after your first year in Juice Plus is pretty darn aggressive? Yeah, you're not gonna get to do that by just talking to 3 friends at church, right? 4,348. But here's what I will tell you. This is still doable in less than an hour a day. Okay, less than an hour a day. Let me show you. I'll continue to the next page. This is my breakdown page. This breaks that big number down into prospects, customers, and distributors. Then it takes each number and breaks it down monthly, weekly, and daily, and it gives me a daily target. By the way, this is a 5-day work week. 5-day work week. 9 prospects each day I'm gonna connect with. I'm just gonna connect with. I'm not gonna try to sell them or recruit them or send them a video or some other gag-worthy thing like that. That's just my opinion. I'm just gonna connect to make their day. I'll show you how I do that in a second. And then with customers, I'm gonna connect with 6 of my customers each day. Just connect, just connect. And then with 4 of the distributors on my team, 19 people. Teamzy's recommending that I connect with these 19 people each day to hit my goal, okay? Now you can change these goals. Let's say you're new and you have no distributors. Great, then you can overwrite that 4 to a 0 and add the 4 to prospects, okay? If you're brand new and you've got no customers, then do zeros on both of those categories and just focus on prospects for now. Make sense? This is a guideline, but here's the thing. Let me put these back. No, wait, this was 9, right? 9, 6, and 4, I think it was. So whatever you want, whatever you decide on, when you put in these boxes, when you click continue, then it will create your dashboard goals based on that. Now there's two other goals here. One is called invites, and you can see Teamzy wants me to do 3 a day. An invite is different than a connect. A connect is just making someone stay. An invite is where I invite them to join my business. I invite them to buy a product, right? I invite them to an event, a business opportunity call, a live event on Facebook. Those are specific to my business invites. My goal out of these 19 conversations is that I will find 3 opportunities to invite people who are interested. Does this make sense? And by focusing on the relationship first and finding the people who are interested, we're able to build bridges and not burn them as we go, if that makes sense. And then the last goal are ads. These are just ads. New people I'm putting in Teamzy each day, I'm adding them to my list. Maybe they're people I hadn't thought of yet. Maybe they're people I'm meeting. But you want to get in the habit of always adding, of always adding. Think of your business like a beautiful sea or lake. It needs fresh water to stay alive and thrive. The new people are the fresh water. You cut off the fresh water, you've got the Dead Sea, right? You don't want that. And you guys probably know people who have built successful businesses and then watched it shrink through attrition. Okay, let's continue to the next page. So these now, when I click continue, it saves it to the dashboard. Let me just show you what it looks like. So now my dashboard is set up with those goals. Right here where it says today's activities, these are my goals for the day. To connect with 9 prospects, I have 0 done, 9 left. 0 customers have been connected with, I have 6 left. See those goals there? And 4 distributors, 3 invites, 3 ads. You can see those goals are there, so it's clear what I need to do. Okay? All right. The next piece of setup is my why. It's finding your why. How many of you have a written why statement somewhere that you've worked on for your business while you're in the business? A couple people? Yeah. Michelle, I expected you to have one, right? That's why she's where she is. It's good. This is one of those things that everybody knows. I know I need to find my why. I got to get it. Some people call it your vision, whatever, for your business. I know I need to do that. But so many people don't do it because it seems hard. It seems weird. It seems, I don't know, abstract, right? And I'm here to tell you it's really not that complicated. You do not need to go take a course on this. You don't need to go read books. You don't have to go to a sweat lodge in Sedona to figure this out, okay? Your why is in your heart right now. I'm going to show you how easy it is to pull out. But this is why it's so important. You guys have to understand that 1 out of 2 people in our business quit their first year. 1 out of 2 big people in our business quit their first year. How many of you have seen people come and go? Yeah. And let me just tell you, it's not because the products aren't awesome. It's not because the opportunity is not awesome, right? People quit because people quit. I mean, that's just the truth. All of us are quitters to some level. We're like water. We take the path of least resistance. Things can happen. Big things can happen. Marriages fall apart, financial chaos. Literally, the roof is torn off by a tornado. People pass away. There's illness. But even worse, people just get bored. They lose their motivation. They procrastinate too much, and they'll quit. Here's what I want you guys to understand. The only way you can be successful in this business is if you have a reason to. That's the only time we override our natural inclination to quit, is when we have a reason. I love the example that Darren Hardy talks about in his book, The Compound Effect. Who's read The Compound Effect? Anyone read that one? If you haven't read that, I would put that on your list. Did you notice the one person on the call who raised her hand, who read the book? There's a clue. Write that one down and read it. Compound effect. So he talks about this why concept in the book, and the example he gives, I love it. He says, "Hey, look, if I put a balance beam across the floor, how many of you would walk across that balance beam on the floor for $20? Is $20 a good enough reason for you to walk across that balance beam? How many of you would do it? Man, you guys must not need money. I would do it in a heartbeat. Okay, now the next question is, if you took the balance beam across the spires of 2 80-story skyscrapers, how many of you would cross that balance beam for $20? Hardly anybody would do that, right? But here's the next question. How many of you have kids? Let me see the parents in the room. Now picture that the building on the other side of that balance beam is burning, and on the roof are your children. Would you scurry across that balance beam now? Absolutely. You would never in a million years cross a balance beam on an 80-story building, but you would do it to save your kids. That's an example of a why, a clear why. In my boot camps that I do every quarter, I always ask this question. How many parents have ever missed a day of feeding your children? Have you ever missed a day? Did you ever think you ever just forgot to give them food one day? Think about that. Day in, day out, you never miss a day feeding your kids? Because the why is clear. There's no question. How many of you have missed a day building your business? Right? There's no clear why. So let me take you through this process really quick, just to kind of give you an idea of how you can get to that first draft of your why without, going crazy. It's not that hard. We've kind of done all the research on this, and we've boiled it down to just 5 thought-provoking questions to ask yourself. So let me take you through. I'll tell you my story quickly as an example, and then we'll show you how to get to your why, and then we'll set up Teamzy and crush Power Hour. That was Power Hour as one word, Power Hour. All right. Why did you become a distributor? Why did you become a distributor? And so in my example, in my story, I lost a lot of weight and I looked different. Anybody have that happen to you? Yeah, it's pretty cool. People were like, hey man, you look great. What are you doing? And I would tell them all day long. My wife finally said, go be a distributor and get paid for all those people you're sending over there for free. I said, that makes sense. So I did it. Signed up. I didn't have any lofty goals. I just signed up. Next question. What do you hope to accomplish? What do you hope to accomplish? I remember asking my sponsor, do you think I could make $500 a month extra money doing this for an hour a day? He said, I think you could do it. I said, great, sign me up. I wanted to make $500 a month extra money. That was it. That was my goal. Anybody relate to that one? Yeah. Again, not that deep, but I was excited about it. Next question. Wait, am I sharing my screen with you? Are you guys seeing these questions? Okay, good. Next question. Why is that important to you? Why is it important to you? Now, what I wanted to do with that $500, and some people will tell you a number like that, and then you'll find out something like they want to take the whole family to Disney World. They've always dreamt of it, or something like that. That's great. Once you have that information, then you can really help them, right? When they're starting to flail, you can say, remember trip to Disney World? Now, what I wanted to do with my $500 a month, I wanted to put it in the bank. I just wanted to save it. That's all I wanted to do. That's why it was important to me. Now, just to give you some context on this, I was in the business of coaching real estate people. That was my focus. And it was such a smart thing because the real estate industry just grew and grew and grew and grew and grew, right? Until it didn't. At the end of 2008, we had what was called the Great Recession. You guys remember that? A few of you do. So I suddenly found myself with no business, out of work, along with everybody I knew. And it was tough. And it was very scary, not just for me, for a lot of people in the country. It was a very scary time, and by God's good grace, our family, we were cared for. We made it through that recession, but by our fingernails. I managed to find some work in another industry. I bluffed my way into a great job. But we started going paycheck to paycheck. We started living paycheck to paycheck for the first time in years. And when I started looking at the network marketing opportunity, I had been paycheck to paycheck going on 6 years. And the thought of $500 a month going into savings, man, that was a good feeling. Does that make sense? So you got to kind of dig into it. Like, why? Why did you pull that number out? Because you kind of pull that number out of the air usually and then think about what would that number do? The next question is, what would achieving this mean for you and your family? What would achieving this mean for you and your family? So what I wanted to do was I just wanted to buy a new home for my family. We were in this tiny house. We have 4 kids, 2 dogs. We were just crowded. Anybody relate to that? A lot of you guys are in Texas, so you probably all have plenty of space, which is good. Don't get me wrong, but we were on top of each other. There was nowhere to go. Everyone shared a room, including my wife and I. The nursery. You know how some people have a nursery in their home? That was the master bedroom. It was the nursery. So it was like the crib was next to the bed, and you had to. Basically, I have 4 kids, so about 10 years, I brushed my teeth in the dark. Because our master bathroom was part of the bedroom, with no door. So I always brushed my teeth in the dark to not wake the baby. So that was my life. I dreamt of a new home for my family. I wanted to work at home in a home office. I worked in a corporate career type thing. I wanted to be home with my family, building my own business type thing. So I thought if I could save $500 a month long enough, maybe, just maybe, we could buy a new home. That's what I was thinking about. Do you see how in just 5 minutes and three or 4 questions, I've gone from, I guess I'll do this business, I'll sign me up as a distributor, what the heck, to, wow, you think I could really buy a new home doing this? Right? The last question is, why is that meaningful? How does this make you feel? Why is that meaningful? How does this make you feel? This is the uncomfortable question because it forces you to stop and slow down for a moment in your life and think about it. See, when you're in survival mode, you never stop and think about what you really want out of life. You're just thinking about what you have to do next. Make sense? So I started thinking about this. Buying a home, is that meaningful? Is that a meaningful goal? But when I started thinking about how it made me feel, here's what I realized. The home was more symbolic than anything. Yes, I wanted a new house, but it was symbolic of family. I wanted a different life with my family. See, this was my life. Some of you might relate to this. I got up in the morning and went to work. My kids were still in their pajamas. I kissed them goodbye and I went to work. And I was awesome at my job. I loved my career. I had a lot of status, a big office. It was pretty cool. I made good money, though not enough to save any, but that's okay. But then when I came home in the evening, my kids were in pajamas again, getting ready for bed. I realized that I was working, but I was never going to be with my kids. I was never going to be with my wife. I was never going to get to be part of the family. And about 3 weekends of the month, I was traveling on business. So I wasn't even home on the weekends. I realized that if nothing changed, my kids would grow up completely without me. And that's not what I wanted. At the same time, I was looking at this 1 hour a day side hustle. And I realized that this network marketing has the opportunity to provide everything I want, the flexibility I want. There's no limit. True? And so a mental switch happened for me. Instead of thinking of network marketing as my extra money, how many of you think of it as your side business, your extra money? How many of you guys have jobs, like jobs, people pay you, like you go to work? Yeah, I did too. So I started thinking of my career job as extra money and started focusing on my business. Yeah, I had to go 9-10 hours a day to my job, but they were going to pay me a lot of money to figure out my network marketing business, right? It was a mental switch. And going through this process, I created my first why statement. Okay, my first why statement. When you go into Teamzy, wait, let me share my screen with you. When you go into Teamzy, you will see the sample text. That's actually my why statement that I wrote just 3 years ago, guys, just 3 years ago. This was my why: to create a life where I never have to worry about money again. I enjoy quality time with my family and I'm present for my children on a daily basis. I'm healthy and full of energy. Writing that why, and by the way, whatever you write in this box, when you click continue, it saves to the dashboard of Teamzy so that you can see it every day when you do your power hour. I want you to actually read it out loud to yourself. This is what happens when you have a why. It convicts you. It convicts you. When you don't feel like doing your business for whatever reason, I just don't feel like it today. I don't feel like logging into Teamzy and connecting with people today. Anybody ever feel that way? If you don't, then you're not from this planet. You're an alien. That's okay, though. We all feel that way sometimes. But when you have a why statement, it convicts you. It's like, you know what? I have to consciously make the decision to not do my 30 minutes in Teamzy and stay stuck in my current life. Or just suck it up and get it done and work towards my why. Does this make sense? Now, real quick on this, I'm going to jump into Teamzy right now. We'll do a power hour. I want you to know what happened to me when I wrote this down. As soon as I wrote this down, I really understood what I needed to do. I knew what I needed to do, but now I understood why. Within 3 months, I left my corporate job and I went all in on my business. And my wife, God bless her, she supported me even though she thought I was insane, but she knew I would just get another job after 3 months if it didn't work, right? But I left, I came home to work. I had nowhere to, this was my problem. My first immediate problem was I had nowhere to work because we were on top of each other in our home. So I actually went to Home Depot. You guys know when you go into Home Depot, they have like a shed in the front yard, in the front of Home Depot, you look at it. How many of you guys have one of those for your lawnmowers or things like that? So I bought one of those sheds from Home Depot that you put your lawnmowers in. I dropped it in my backyard on the dirt because I didn't have much money, didn't have a job. I drilled a hole in the wall and I ran an extension cord through that hole and I hooked a computer up in the shed and I started building my business in the backyard in the shed. Spiders dropping on my head in the middle of calls. I mean, seriously, sweating to death in the summer. My kids called it the shoffice, but I like to think of it as my shed quarters because I was building something huge. I have a picture. Check this out. I just found this the other day. A picture of myself and one of my business partners in the shed just, gosh, about 3 years ago. Isn't that cool? High tech. That is not a whiteboard. That's actually shower board that you get at Home Depot for $12 and you can screw it into the wall and it works like a whiteboard. And you can see in the background, Teamzy. We were starting to brainstorm this new business idea that was happening to me because I was struggling with being efficient with my time. Isn't that cool? And here I am in my new home, dream realized, just a couple of years later. So cool. I wish I still had the shed. I have room for it in my office. It could be like a little extra closet or something. But I want you guys to understand the why is the key to this. You guys, the why is the key to this. Okay. Next step in Teamzy. Man, I have too many windows open. How many of you guys are like me? You have like 100,000 windows open at all times. That's me. And then I wonder why things don't work. Okay, so whatever you put in this box, again, when you click continue, it saves it to your dashboard and it's there. The last step is getting all of your contacts into Teamzy. Okay, so there's some videos here to help you. You're gonna go into the Juice Plus back office, those of you who've already been building your business. The first group you wanna bring in are your distributors. Okay, there's instructions here. This little video will help you. Get all your distributors into Teamzy, then get all your customers into Teamzy. Then you can get all your Facebook friends into Teamzy, which is cool. So you're not going through Facebook looking for people to connect with. It's all organized, okay? And then anywhere else you have contacts, you bring them all into Teamzy. All right, so once you get them all in there. Now, if you guys run into any trouble with your import, go to the Help Center on the left side. You'll find FAQs, videos, instructions, everything. If you need more attention than that, click this little help button down here and ask for help from our team. They can help you. They'll even, if you need it, schedule a one-on-one Zoom with you and walk you through the whole setup process one-on-one for those of you guys who are intimidated by that. So I don't want anyone to get caught up on that. Teamzy is like moving into your dream home. Some people move their own stuff and unpack it, and other people hire movers, okay? Either way, we want to get your dishes unpacked so you can start cooking in your dream kitchen, okay? That's the idea here. So don't worry about setup. If you run into any trouble, just ask us for help. It's pretty simple though. All right, so there's one more step for setup before we crush our power hour really quick. I'm gonna jump over to the team page. See right here on the left side? Team in Teamzy is everybody you know. It's not just your team, okay? Because when you're building relationships, your friends are your team. They're supporting your business. Your prospects are your team because they might join your business and bring people to you. Everyone is your team. Does this make sense? The team page is really your full CRM and Teamzy. This is where all your contacts are on your team page. And if you'll notice here that when I click on someone's name, they have a star rating that appears next to their name. You notice that? That's also the number on the left side of their name. That's their star rating. This is important. We rate everybody on a 5-star scale. It's a very simple and effective way to prioritize relationships. Why do you need to prioritize relationships? You need to understand this principle. If you want to prioritize time, you have to prioritize relationships. First off, the people you don't want to talk to will steal the time from the people you do, right? True? Absolutely. But even more important, 80% of your business comes from 20% of your relationships. It's the 80-20 rule. 80% of your business will come from 20% of your relationships. You need to spend more time talking more often with the 20%. How do you do that? You give them a high star rating. It's super simple. So what happens is after a bulk import, it automatically brings you into this page and turns on rank mode. I'm going to turn it on right here in this menu for you. This lets you go down the list quickly and rank people. If you want to rank somebody up, you just click on it. Rank them down, same thing, just click on it. It automatically saves as you go. Everybody will start as 3 stars, so you don't have to actually rank everybody. You just have to find your 4 and 5-star people and get them in there. Make sense? So you just kind of go down your list, look for the people you like the best, and rank them up. Let me give you my definitions. A 5-star is someone most likely to become a customer or a distributor, or an existing customer or distributor that's a rock star. 5 stars are your best friends, your closest family. They show up on your list every 30 days. Every 30 days, you get a reminder to make their day, just to connect. Okay, just to connect. A 4-star is somebody that's likely to become a customer or distributor with a little nurturing. These are your friends, your family, your solid performers on your team as well. They show up on your list every 60 days. So 4 stars is every 60 days. Again, just to connect, just to make their day. A 3-star could go either way. They show up every 90 days. In fact, most of your list will be 3 stars, and that's appropriate. Okay, you'll still talk to them 4 times a year. 2 stars are getting colder. They show up every 120 days. Does this make sense? The more stars, the more often you talk to them. Here's what I want you guys to understand is that you do this one time. Yes, you can change ranks as you go all the time, but you do this one time and you never have to plan. You never have to plan your power hour ever for the rest of your business. You just turn on Teamzy. It tells you who's up next. It cycles the names automatically for you. You don't have to worry about. If you message somebody and they don't respond to you, you don't have to worry about it. they're going to come back. They're going to come back automatically. They won't fall through the cracks. Does it make sense? Okay. Let's do this real quick. Let's do a power hour. So we're all set up. Now, see where it says power hour in the center of my screen? This is the power hour module. This is where we're going to do our work. The left side has my lists: prospects, customers, distributors, and my follow-ups, okay? Each list shows me 5 names at a time. That's by design, so I don't get overwhelmed and I stay focused. Remember, everybody's in Teamzy. You can go to the team page and see your whole list at any time. You can look anybody up in the lookup bar at any time. The power hour is to keep you focused. So the left side tells us who to connect with. The right side is where we log our activity as we go. So you don't have to go back and log. It tells you who to connect with. I'm going to show you right now. It's going to help us with our messaging. Then we log it as we go. There's no going back and doing homework. Make sense? All right, first person on my list, Nicole. Great. I'm going to message Nicole. Hopefully I'm not losing my voice here. This is where I used to get stuck. What the heck am I going to say to Nicole? Right? And so I worked for a long time coming up with simple messages to help me connect, make someone's day, and just start a conversation, right? And then now that we've had more than 70,000 people use Teamzy, we've refined these scripts for you, and we built them into Teamzy to make your life easy. So right here in the connect box, see where it says scripts right there in the bottom center? I'm going to click that, and this opens all my scripts for you. So let me get one for Facebook. I'm going to message her on Facebook, by the way, because Facebook is my favorite way to communicate because it has the best response rate. If that changes over time, then I'll change my training. You can, of course, log anything in Teamzy, any kind of communication. So I'm just going to pick one of these scripts, connect number 1. Here we go. It says, "Hi, Jane, just stopping by to say hello. How are you? I hope your day is awesome." Okay, so we'll copy that script. That takes it to my clipboard. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste it in here so I can edit this, right? I need to get the name right. Hey, Nicole, just stopping by to say hello. How are you? Do you go by Nicole or do you go by something else? Nikki? Nicole? Nicole. Okay. Well, like I was saying, like if she went by Nikki, then I would change it to that too. Okay. So look, I put an emoticon in there because I just absolutely have to have an emoticon in every message. I don't know why. How many of you are emoticon addicts? You know what it is? It's all those years of corporate life and emails that sounded like someone was giving you the middle finger. Emoticons changed that. Because now it's like, no, it's a happy message. And if somebody sends you an emoticon of a middle finger, then it's very clear. That's what they meant, right? Okay, so there it is. "Hi, Nicole, just stopping by to say hello. How are you? Hope your day's awesome." Smiley face. That's exactly how I want it. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just copy this real quick. It only takes a second. But see, I've got Facebook open in a separate window. And you have to do that because Facebook doesn't allow you to send messages through other apps, which is no big deal. You just look her up real quick. There she is. Okay, and just send the message. So I remember I had copied it, so it's on my clipboard. Look, I'll just paste it right there, super fast. Boom, ready to go. And now that message is sent. Now, keep in mind, you can do this on a mobile phone as well, just as fast, okay? And you can toggle back and forth using your home button on your phones, and you're good to go. So let me log this as a Facebook message. And then the big blue log connect button, that's how you log it. Now notice that she's off my list. My list has slid up 1 notch. I've got 1 done, 8 left. Next person on my list is Jay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to paste again and change the name to Jay. Just keep it easy. Why even change the script? You could go get a different script if you want, but if you're just reaching out the first time, just use the same one. "Hi, Jay, just stopping by to say hello. Hope your day is awesome." Great. Again, copy, boom, jump over here. There's Jay, super fast. Do you guys see how easy it is to do 20 in 20 minutes? It doesn't even take me a minute to do each one. But I'm giving you a minute each because you're new. Done, sent. Now I'm gonna log that over here. Same way, big blue log connect button, 2 done, 7 left. I'm gonna just work down my list and send a message to each person on my list as they come up, just to make their day message. Now here's what happens. Typically about half of them will respond, okay? The half that do not respond, again, don't worry about them. They come back on Teamzy automatically. You don't have to follow up. They're going to automatically come back on Teamzy at a later date. You connect again. As you connect over time, you build trust, people will respond more, okay? Of the people who respond, Those are the people we're going to focus on, but I don't want you to have a conversation with them yet until we're done with our outgoing messages in our power hour. So don't start having those conversations as they're coming in. Just keep focused on sending all your messages until we get them all out for today's power hour. Then you can have those conversations that you've started. Make sense? So we're going to keep going down our list. Brandy's next, then Cosimo, then Charlene. We're going to send those messages until we've got 0 left. This circle will turn all the way blue, and I'll know that I'm done with my prospects goal for the day. Then I go to the next list, customers. I'm going to connect with my customers. Look, my first one here is a Victor. What a cool name. Again, I'll go to my scripts and get a quick script to talk to a Victor, right? Here's a simple one. Hi, John. How are you enjoying the product? Send me an update. Let me know how I can be of help. I'll paste it in there. Change the name to the right name. Victor, make sure you spell it right. How are you enjoying your tower garden? Okay. By the way, some of you were on the beginning of the call. I'm a new tower gardener, and the last week was what was affectionately called the war on snails at the Johnson household. The snails got up. We had a lot of rain, and the snails got on my tower, and they ate all of my seedlings down to the nubs in one night. There were snails everywhere. And so they've all recovered because I won the war. I had Google on my side, and I found everything that you could do to get rid of slugs, and I got rid of them and snails. All right, so, but look, that'd be a good thing to reach out to. How's your tower garden? Well, actually, I've got a big problem with snails. Well, let me help you with that, right? Example. So look, there's the message. Again, I'll do the same thing with customers, copy, paste, send it in Facebook or text or however you're connecting with people, okay? Maybe it's Instagram, maybe it's Snapchat, I don't know, whatever you use, doesn't matter. Okay, so when I log that, again, this list moves up, I go to my next customer. Just real quick on this, you guys need to understand this. Connecting with customers is as important as connecting with prospects. Okay, connecting with customers is as important as connecting with prospects. Just really fast, couple things I want you guys to know. You don't need an overly complicated follow-up program for your customers. If you've got one of those programs that you've set up that seem like a great idea and you struggle to keep up with it, like 19 days after the purchase, I message them, and then 3 days after that, and then 2 days after that. Don't worry about all that. If you just put them in Teamzy and stay in touch with them as they come up, you're going to be providing great service. See, they don't know 19 days have passed. All they know is you're in regular touch. Does this make sense? And it's easier to manage. But here's what will happen. Besides the fact that it's better service to be in touch, did you know that if you're in regular contact with customers, statistically, they order more product? They order more product, and they retain longer on their auto ships. They retain longer and they order more product. How many of you would just like your customers to order more and retain longer? All you have to do is stay in contact. You don't have to have great sales scripts or anything like that. You just stay in contact. Just be present for them. It's kind of like when you go to a great restaurant. How many of you ever waited tables or bartended? Let me see those folks. You guys will get this one right away. Imagine you go to a beautiful restaurant. It's a special occasion. You have a server that is amazing. They're exceptional. That's you guys, by the way. They take your order. Everything is perfect. They lead you through the process. They bring you this amazing meal. They put it before you, and then you never see them again for the rest of the meal. Right? It's like it was great until it wasn't, and then the problem is you can't order anything else. If they're there, if they're attentive, then it's like, yes, I would like another glass of wine. Yes, I would, right? Does this make sense? And that's the way it is in any business. When you're in regular contact with customers, they order more and they retain longer. Teams that go into a Teamzy challenge, Michelle, this is for you, very, very often we'll see a 20 to 30% increase in volume during the Teamzy challenge. Is it because Teamzy is magical? No. It's because Teamzy helps you do the basic, which is have a relationship with your customers and be in contact with them. Make sense? All right, the third reason why you got to be in touch with your customers. How am I doing on time? I'm way over. Do you guys want me to give you this reason? Oh yeah. How many of you would like more customers? It's okay, don't be shy. You should all want more customers, for crying out loud, right? Where do you get new customers? Where's the best place to get new customers? Is it the grocery store? Is it on Instagram? Guys, here's the answer. The best place to get a new customer is from a current customer. Okay? The best place to get a new customer is from a current customer. What do people do when they love a product? They tell everybody about it. They tell everybody about it. Did you know that in North America, 82% of people make a purchasing decision based on the recommendation of a friend? You're all nodding because you're like, I do that. Yeah, you're part of that. You're here in the same North America. This is what this means. Let me just put it to you this way. Your customers already have new customers ready to purchase right now. Your best customers, for sure, have people who are ready. They've already talked about it. They already know how awesome it is. They're ready to purchase. They just aren't really sure how. Some of them might have already purchased. They might have looked it up on Google and found somebody. The reason why you're not getting them is because you're not in contact. If you're not in contact with your customers, you need to be, that's step one. You got to be in touch with your customers, and you have to ask them to introduce you to the people they're talking to. Okay, you got to ask them to introduce you to the people you're talking to so you can help them. Make sense? But starts by being in contact. That's what Teamzy is going to help you with. The last step here is connecting with your distributors. Having a relationship with your team. You do it exactly the same way. Send them a message, you connect with them, make their day. Okay, this is super important, especially as your team grows. Especially as your team grows. So funny, I had a conversation with somebody today via Facebook Messenger, a top producer in another network. She's got 300,000 people on her team. And she was going to load them all into Teamzy. I said, hey, Teamzy's good, but it's not that good. Okay, let's just get your personally sponsored people in there. Let's start with something you can manage, right? That's a good problem to have. But my point here is that as your team gets bigger, it's often thought, well, there's just no way I can be in personal contact with my team. Teamzy will help you stay in contact, at least, and I want you guys to focus on this, at least with your personally sponsored and the leaders on your team. Okay? And they need to hear from you. They just need to hear from you. Having a Zoom call for the live for the team is awesome. You know, having a Facebook group where they can interact with you is great. But when they hear from you one-on-one, this is what we've been talking about all night. When they get that message from you one-on-one, it's unbelievable. And that's why we built Teamzy, to help you build those relationships, create that family with your team. So prospects, customers, distributors. This is the first half of our power hour. In our example, it was 19 people. I talk a lot, but you should be able to do this, send those messages in 20 minutes. Do you guys see how easy that is? Now, let's get to the follow-ups list. This is the second half. So the second half of our power hour is working our follow-ups. You can see I've got none there. Follow-ups are not automatic like connects and Teamzy. People have to be put on the follow-ups list. But that is because in relationship marketing, we connect with people, we build relationships, and then when we find interest, we invite and follow up. Okay? So let me just give you an example. I messaged Nicole at the beginning of our call, and just to make her day, how are you? Hope you're having an awesome day. And she responds, oh, thanks for reaching out. It's great. Great to be connected with you too. Actually, ironically, she and I had an exchange like this today, didn't we? I sent her a friend request, said it's great to be connected with you. She says, oh my gosh, just thank you for reaching out. I'm excited about the call. So we had a conversation like this. So she connects, she says, oh, that was nice, and that's kind of the conversation. It's kind of like, oh, yeah, that's nice. Thank you, Eric, for reaching out. And now it's my job to try to engage her in conversation. And I'm going to give you guys my secret phrase for engaging people in a conversation when it looks like it fizzled out with a, oh, thanks for reaching out. That was nice. You guys ready? It's not magical again, but it works really well. This is my phrase. Well, Nicole, it's been forever. Tell me what you've been up to. Send me an update. Tell me what you've been up to. Send me an update. It works like a charm. Now, my business partner, Mike Lopez, who is like an expert at leadership training, he would tell you that why that's so effective is because people do better being told what to do than being asked what to do, because they have clear instruction. Send me an update. Tell me what have you been up to? Send me an update. Send me an update is my favorite thing. And then what happens is it's not an awkward thing. Like people will send, if you guys Google form, F-O-R-M-E on the internet, you'll see the craziest, weirdest questions. Like if money was not an issue, what would you do with your life? It's like, I haven't talked to you since high school. Why are you asking me these weird questions, right? How many of you guys have felt awkward doing that stuff? But if you just say, hey, send me an update, then what they're going to tell you is, oh my gosh, well, it has been forever. The kids are huge. This is what they're into. My son's in band. My daughter plays soccer. We just went on vacation here and there. And it's like you have a lot of great stuff to talk about, don't you? And so then she sends me her update and I'm asking questions. I'm getting into the update. Because my goal in this call is not to sell her, not to recruit her. My goal is to help her. My goal is to help her. I'm listening. I'm taking notes. I'm listening. I'm looking for wants and needs. I'm looking for complaints and pain points in her life that maybe I can help her with. Maybe it has to do with Juice Plus. Maybe it doesn't. If it doesn't, that's fine too, because every investment in the relationship gives you a return because it's the right thing to do and it feels awesome, right? So I'm talking to Nicole. Who knows what she needs? Maybe she's in a rough patch and needs someone to pray with her today. That happens actually more than you would expect, reaching out to people. Maybe she needs a recommendation, right? I recently got a letter from the water district saying that I needed to install a, I don't even know what it is. It's $1,000 plumbing thing that I have to put on my water in order to continue getting water, and I have 45 days to comply. That kind of stuff happens, right? So what's going on with you? I could complain about that. She could say, I know an awesome plumber who can get that done this month for you. I'll send you his number. That's a way to help, right? But here's the cool thing. As I'm talking to her and we're just having a great back and forth, and this back and forth, if it's on Facebook, it could be going over a couple of days. Who knows? She says, well, what about you, Eric? What have you been up to? Even if she doesn't ask her, I'm going to tell her. Even if she doesn't ask, I'm going to tell her. It's my turn to give my update. Well, maybe you don't know, we've been out of touch for a long time, but I actually left my job 3 years ago, working from home now, which has been unbelievable. And I actually found these products that saved my life. I lost a bunch of weight, reclaimed my health, my vitality. I mean, this is life-changing. And I found that I have a passion for helping other people do it too. So I've been focusing on that for 3 years. And it's been amazing. And what's she going to say to me? Wow, that's cool, Eric. Good for you, right? Here's why, guys, and write this down. I know I'm going a little bit more than just how to use Teamzy, but that's me. I can't help it. You need to share what you do and why you're passionate about it. You need to share what you do and why you're passionate about it. Your job is not to get them to buy Juice Plus or to join your team. Your job is to share what you do and why you're passionate about it. Because the only response they can have to that is positive. Wow, good for you. Oh, that's great. Good for you. Okay? This is an important step in the process of building an army of advocates. Like, that's one of the things I talk about, building an army of advocates. You need to be on a mission. What mission are you on? And you need recruits to help you on this mission. My mission was to help people lose weight and live healthy, vital lives. What's yours? Okay? What's yours? Figure it out. Articulate it. And then people would ask me questions like, so how are you doing it? And I would say, and by the way, I would never hide that it's Juice Plus. Oh, I do Juice Plus. Have you heard of Juice Plus? It's awesome. Oh, I have heard of that. Do you actually make money doing that? People used to ask me all the time. How many of you have been asked that? Yeah, I make money doing it. Now, you can't disclose how much money you make, right? That's against the rules. But I would just say something that it's let you do. It let us go on vacation, all expenses paid. It paid my mortgage last month. So, things like that. You can share a little something like that. And if you're not making any money, then tell the story of someone on your team. I'm new, but my friend Michelle just, I don't know. She's bought a new pair of shoes. Great, right? Tell them what you do and why you're passionate about it. And then as you're talking, ask them if they're interested in learning more about it. That's all. Ask them if they're interested in learning more about it. Would you like to learn more about what I'm doing? Are you interested in learning more about it? Is that something that you might be interested in? That's all. That's the hardest part. That's the part you're going to be like, eh. But look, the way you're doing it, it's not going to be salesy. It's not going to cause rejection. It's not going to make them avoid you for the rest of your life. Because here's what happens. If they say yes, yeah, I'd like some more information. That's really interesting. Great. Now you're going to invite them to something. I'll show you how to do that in a second. And you're going to follow up like a pro. If Nicole says, I'm really excited for you, Eric, but honestly, I'm not really interested in pursuing that in any way myself. Okay, great. I would say no worries at all. No worries at all. I just, it was really great catching up with you. I really enjoyed our chat. And she'll say, me too. And then I'll just plant the seed. Plant the seed. Could you do me a favor though, Nicole, if you do come across anybody who needs help with what is it that you do passionately, guys? In my case, it was if you come across anybody who needs help losing some weight, getting healthy, focusing on nutrition, anything like that, could you connect us? I would love to help them. Okay, could you connect us? And you know what happens every time? Every time Yeah, I could do that. The people who are not interested agree to help you find more people. How beautiful is that? What you've done is you've planted a seed, you've left the conversation, you've uncovered the white elephant under the carpet, and everyone still feels good. Does it make sense? When she comes back on Teamzy in 3 months or 2 months and I connect again and we catch up again, she's going to know I really meant it, that I really am trying to help her and just be cool. And then each time I found as people start asking me more questions, because as soon as you have that first exchange, guess what? They start looking at all of your posts. And whenever you have a Facebook conversation with somebody, you're now prioritized in their feed. So they're going to see all your posts, which is kind of cool. All right. So let's just say you guys got all that so far. Oh, it was only a little bit of information, right? So she says, yes, I'd like more information. Here's what we're going to do in Teamzy. All right. I know you guys have been with me a long time. I'm going to speed this up, but I don't want you to miss the follow-up piece because that's where all the money's made and where all the people are helped. So she says, yes, I'd like some more information. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look her up in my lookup bar because she's not on my dashboard anymore. Okay. That takes me to her contact record, where I'm going to open my Connect box. So as we're talking, by the way, if somebody says, yeah, I'd like to learn some more or whatever, one of the first things that I would do personally is get them on a call or a Zoom right away and just say, Nicole, do you have 5 minutes right now to jump on a call? Just so I can kind of find out what your goals are and see if it's something I can help with. Okay. Because what I want to do is, I know I'm over delivering. See, I'm giving you guys boot camp training, but that's okay. If someone says, yes, I'd like some more information, please, for the love of God, do not send them a link, like a random link explaining the product, and consider that sending somebody information. What information do they need? What problem do they need to solve? What specifically do they need help with in their life? You need to find that out and give them that information. You need to completely solve their problem. Imagine if you went to a doctor and said, I'm not feeling well, and they said, here's the list of all of the prescriptions I write. Why don't you see if you like any of them and let me know and I'll send you the link to buy it. Can you imagine? You need to find out exactly what they need. Ask more questions, find out. So I'm talking to Nicole and she's excited and she's like, I want to do what you do. I want to be home with my kids. I want to be flexible in my job. I want to buy a new house. I want to do all the things that you did. How do I do it? I said, great. Well, let's get you plugged into learning more about this business opportunity. Are you going to be around tomorrow night, Nicole? She says, yes, I am. I said, great. My team is doing a virtual event on Facebook. It's perfect. You can do it at home. You can sit in your bed with your husband and have a glass of wine. That might even be happening tonight. I don't know. And be comfortable and learn about the business. People will be sharing their stories. People, friends of mine will be sharing their story on there. And then I'll follow up the next day and see if you have any questions. She says, that sounds perfect. Great. So I'm going to invite her now to this event we're doing. So the way I do it in Teamzy is, see where it says invite on the bottom left? I'm going to click on invite. And then I'll just pick one of these that's appropriate. Instead of connect, which is the default, I'm going to pick business opportunity meeting. Okay. And I'm just going to put it's a Facebook Live event as my note. Okay, so now I'll send her that message. I'll send her that link. And then notice right here where this little calendar is, this is my follow-up. This is my follow-up. It automatically creates one for 2 days from now in case you forget. But you can set it for any date you want in the future. I'm going to set it for tomorrow because that's what I told her. Okay. And now when I log this invite connect, first of all, that follow-up is now set on her record. It's set. If I go to my dashboard, you can see I've got an invite logged. Okay. And on my follow-ups list, there she is for tomorrow. She's due tomorrow. So tomorrow when I come in and do my power hour, I connect with my prospects, whoever's up next, my customers, again, whoever's up next, my distributors. And then when I get to my follow-ups list, I see who's due. This will turn red when it's due. It's yellow because it's tomorrow. It's green when it's at least 2 days away. So you can just scan it. If you have any reds, you follow up. When she's due, I'm going to follow up with her to see what questions she has after attending that awesome event. Now, here's how we do it. Again, I'm going to go to scripts. And I want you guys to know that I have put all 10 of my follow-up scripts in Teamzy for you, numbered in order. Okay? So follow-up number 1 is right here. Hi, Jane, just checking in like I promised I would. What questions do you have for me? Copy that script. Simple. I'm going to teach you guys how to follow up. You do it just like a regular connect. Get it just the way you want it, and then send it however you send it. I use Facebook. Oops. This is my first time using a computer. Just kidding. There she is. I'm going to send her this follow-up message. Okay? Sent. Okay, so now when I log it in Teamzy, guys, this is really important. Set the new follow-up so you don't lose her off your follow-ups list. Keep her on the follow-ups list. So let's say I'll follow up now in 2 days. So now she's back on my follow-ups list. Okay. This is my power hour. Prospects, customers, distributors, work down my follow-ups list. When you get to somebody you've been following up with, you can go to activity. You can see what the last message was, and then get the next script and send it. Okay? And as you're sending it, set the next follow-up. This is really important because the fortunes in the follow-up. How many of you have heard the fortunes in the follow-up? Now, this is the piece that I alluded to in the very beginning. Did you know that 80% of all sales happen between the 7th and 10th follow-ups? A couple of you are nodding. You've heard that before. Somewhere I've heard that before. 80% of all sales happen between the 7th and 10th follow-ups. How many of you, when you have somebody interested, follow up 10 times typically, consistently? Anyone? Okay. Good. A couple people. Most people won't follow up that much. They feel like they're being annoying. How many of you feel like that's annoying? Good. It's honest. First off, I'm going to teach you right now how to do it without being annoying. People will thank you. You'll follow up 10 times and they'll say, thank you so much for following up. You're amazing. How many of you guys want to know that? I'm going to teach it to you tonight. Okay. But here's what I want you to know. First off, I want to ask you, how many of you are doing this business because you truly believe it'll change lives? Okay. And you struggle because you want to help people, but you don't see yourself as a salesperson per se. Yeah. Here's the thing, guys. Let me reframe that statistic with different words. 80% of the people you could help in this business, you won't help unless you follow up 7 to 10 times. 80% of the people you could help, you won't help unless you follow up 7 to 10 times. This is why I want you guys to understand this principle. Following up isn't something that's annoying. Following up is an act of love. Following up is an act of love. You can write that down, stick it somewhere where you can see it every day. Following up is an act of love. If you really want to help people, you have to understand that most people won't even respond to the first 6 or 7 follow-ups. They won't even respond. And if you want to help them, you have to love them through that process by following up. That's how you show it. That's why when you do it right, people will thank you for it. And when you give up on people after 2 or 3 follow-ups and they haven't responded, you got nothing but crickets, you've communicated to them, I'm sorry, I just don't care enough about you to do that, to follow up with you. I'm just going to let you go because you're not worth the trouble. It's harsh, but it's true. 20% of people will sign up in the first 3 or 4 follow-ups. Those are the people you're getting now. The majority of people won't even respond. How many of you have had people very interested and then nothing but crickets when you follow up? And you're like, what's going on? And then you follow up again, crickets. You follow up again, crickets. Now you're starting to think something's wrong with you. Did I offend them? What's happening? Are they broke? You start creating all these stories for why they're not following up. Here's what's really happening. You messaged them and they saw your message and they wanted to respond to it, but the dog's throwing up on the baby and they got to go handle it. The next day they're driving. They can't respond right now. The next day something else is happening. This is what's really happening in their life. And though they're interested, you're not in their top 10 priorities. Does this make sense? But they still are interested. They'd still like to do it. You just need to stay with them. Now, I'm going to teach you the 2 principles so that you won't be annoying and people will be excited for your follow-ups. By the way, even if you don't listen to any more of this, if you use my scripts are written with these principles in mind, okay? But here are the 2 principles. And look, they may go against some of the things you've been taught, and that's okay because only one of you raised your hand that you follow up 10 times, and then one more. Casey, I'll give you a benefit. You did kind of do this after. So she's probably at like 5 or 6, which is really good in general. Oh, there you go. Okay, good. We'll split the difference. But here's my point. You're not, the other way you've been taught isn't working because you're not doing it. So let me give you these. Number 1 rule, never ask someone to do anything in a follow-up. Never ask them to do anything in a follow-up. And I've had people go, but Eric, I've been told to give a clear call to action. That you had that in your conversation. Now you're just following up on it. Don't ask them to call you back. Don't ask them to even respond. Don't even ask them to respond. Your follow-up is everything is on you, not them. You're sending them the message. Okay. Number 2 rule, your follow-up must be messaged, written out so they can read it. It cannot be a voice. It cannot be a video. Please, please don't call people on the telephone. Nobody likes their phone to ring unannounced. Okay? Anybody that's telling you to hit the phones to follow up is living in the 70s, which was a cool I was born in the 70s. Nothing wrong with that. But, that's like our grandparents in the 70s saying, we used to use the telegraph thing, right? It's just not done, so don't do it. It has to be messaged, and it has to be short. It has to be short enough they can read the entire message without opening it. They need to be able to see it on the lock screen message on your phone. Make sense? Why? Because they can't respond right now. I told you already, the baby's throwing up on the dog, whatever. They want to see it though. They desperately want to see the message. Don't you guys always want to see the message? They want to see the message, but they don't want to open it, because if they open it, they'll feel like a jerk for not responding. So they want to see it, and if it's in text format, they can scan the whole thing in a second, and they can get that emotion from you of your support. Okay? And you stay top of mind that way, and you're not annoying. And what happens is it builds, and then around I'd say most people probably will respond after 6 or 7. With an apology. They'll say, I'm so sorry I haven't responded. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much for staying in touch. I really appreciate it. I am interested, but first the dog threw up on the baby, and they'll tell you what's been going on in their life. And then what happens then? I wish that they would just send you their credit card after 6, but they don't. You start over, basically. You start over. Send me that link again. Oh, where's that? I haven't even opened the first email you sent me with the link to purchase and the instructions. Let's do that now. Let me take a look at that tonight. But it's okay. But this is what I want you guys to know, is that when you're talking to people, starting conversations, looking for a way to help, invite the people who are interested, put them on your follow-ups list, and keep them on your follow-ups list. Just keep sending them the next thing. Just keep sending them the next thing, and follow those rules. Don't ask them to do anything. Keep it short and messaged. Okay? And all you have to do is focus on your power hour. Just sending if they're on your follow-up list, send them the next follow-up, and that's it. Just keep going, keep going, and they'll convert. All right, so I'm gonna open you guys to Q&A, but first let me finish this off in Teamzy, show you how to finish that person off when they sign up. Again, you're gonna go to their full contact record. You can look them up in the lookup bar to do that. When Nicole signs up, I'm gonna click sale and log it in Teamzy. So let's say she buys Tower Garden. I'm kind of obsessed with Tower Garden. So I'm gonna log that as an other sale, save, and then I'm gonna tag it. Tower Garden. I'm gonna tag it so I know what product she bought, which is cool. And then I'm gonna move her member type over to customer. Boom, now she's one of my customers. How easy is that? Make sense? If she joined my team, then I would have logged application fee and hit distributor, personally sponsored. That's how you move them in Teamzy. I'm going to give you guys a couple action steps, and then if you have questions, I know it's been long tonight, but I'm happy to stay a little bit longer to answer a couple of questions. Let me just give you your action steps, send you on your way. Where's that presentation? Here it is. All right, so here's your action steps. Go get your 30-day free trial started with Teamzy. Get your 30-day free trial started with Teamzy, okay? It's free. If you're already in a free trial, set up your subscription. Again, as Juice Plus distributors, you get a huge discount. It's $19.95 a month for Teamzy, which is like 60 cents a day for everything I showed you. So what's your time worth? Number 2, get a 30-day success partner to do the free trial with you. Get a success partner. Say, let's do this together. Let's hold each other accountable. What I recommend is you take a screenshot of your completed dashboard each night and message it to each other, okay? That will help you get so much more out of the 30 days than you would do on your own. And the final thing I'll give you is a 5-day challenge. At some point in the next couple of weeks, I want you to connect with 100 people in 5 days. That's 20 a day average. I just want you to feel how much momentum you can create in such a short time. You'll be a little bit overwhelmed, probably with conversations, but that's a good thing. Being successful people aren't any less overwhelmed than you. They're just less worried. They're overwhelmed with opportunity. Does that make sense? And that is a good place to be. That's where I want you guys to live. Makes sense. Okay. All right. What questions? Does anyone have questions?
I do.
Hi, Casey. Go ahead.
Hi. So I know earlier you talked about, oh, we all want more customers. I will be perfectly honest with you. If I get another customer, I will probably lose them because I won't be able to take good care of them. So my question is, when you want to shift your focus to building more team, I just don't feel like I have a capacity to take good care of customers, but I know I have the capacity to focus on team because that's just where my heart is. How would you take that shift with your approach with Teamzy, like with your outreach and your conversations? Is that any different than how you would approach the customer side?
I think your customers are also your best source of distributors. So first off, let me tell you how I would get distributors, the relationship way. If you have customers, how many of you started as customers, love the products first? So at least of the people who have their cameras on, a majority. So that tells you something, right? What I would do is you're talking to your best customers. Let's say you're my customer, Casey, and you're kicking butt. And you've told me you feel great, things are happening for you. I'd say, Casey, I know you've been getting great results with the products and you're really loving them. Typically what I found is that when people are getting great results, they're talking to people already. You're probably already talking to friends and family about the products. Is there anybody you care about that I can help? I can get them some more information and help them learn more about these products. She's going to say, well, actually, yeah, I was talking to this person and this person. I say, great. Could you do me a favor? And could you quickly introduce me to those people so I can get them some more information? Whatever's easiest for you, Casey, like a group Facebook message or a group text message, whatever's easiest. And so then she goes, okay, great. And a lot of times they'll do it right then and there. And they'll say, meet Eric. He's my Juice Plus distributor. He's really helped me a lot. And I know we were talking about it. I just thought I'd make the introduction great. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow up with your friends. Now here's the beautiful thing about this, Casey. Your friends trust me already. You know why? Because you introduced us. So because you introduced us, there is trust. And I don't have to tell them anything about how awesome Juice Plus is or about the clinical studies or anything like that. What I do is I get right into it and say, okay, great. So I've helped Casey with this, this, and this. What do you need help with? Where are you struggling and how can I serve you? I'm going to find out what they need and then I'm going to help them prescribe a solution. Now, what will happen is, let's say you give me 3 people and all 3 of them are interested in the product. Now what I'm going to do, Casey, is I'm going to message you and say, hey, I just want to give you an update on your friends. By the way, thank you so much for introducing us. I've had some great conversations. I think they're all pretty interested. The question I have for you, Casey, is have you considered being a distributor yourself? Because you already have 3 customers right here in hand. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of times your best customers can become distributors and you can, through your efforts, you can build them a quick win and get them excited about the business. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? And they've already got a testimony, a lot of times a customer testimony. So I would say you don't have to make it an either or proposition, focusing on customers or recruits. I think it can be a both and. Sure. Does that make sense? Now, as far as getting new customers, for me, I would always kind of lead with, hey, there's some benefit to coming in as a distributor. So, so you could get your customers, a lot of your distributors might just be customers who like those couple of different benefits they can have as a distributor, if that makes sense. Yeah. And then maybe you can get some of them interested. So for me in my business, just to clarify, in case anyone wonders, I don't have a network marketing business. I'm neutral with everybody. But for me, almost every single customer I had was a distributor, at least on paper, if that makes sense, which helps build and maintain rank and all of that stuff as you go as well. So I don't know if that helps you, but I think it's, you don't want to just present the business opportunity, because you might not attract the people you want on your team. I think when you tell the story, you tell the whole story. You tell the story about how your health has changed. You tell the story about how your finances have changed. You tell the story about the freedom that you're enjoying, right? And different people will be attracted to different pieces of it. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Does that help?
Yeah, I love that.
I have a question.
Absolutely.
So as an upline, are you able to, I'm guessing you're able to share information with your team and see kind of as far as holding them accountable? Is that a possibility?
Yeah, we have this thing called the team report. And so the way this works, this is so cool.
Team challenge.
Oh yeah, the team report is super powerful. So look, if you're in Teamzy, on the left side, you see where it says team report. I don't have people on my team report, but what you do is you come in here and you just click this little plus to add people to your team report. You put your downline's email in and it sends them an invite. When they get the invite, they give permission and it will share their statistics onto your team report. Okay. So then it'll tell you how many connects that person made today. Of course, you're on your own team report so that you can see your own stats. How many follow-ups they've done, how many invites, what their completion rate is for the day, and if they've added people. And then you can also go back in time. Let me just show you, I think, do I have a team report open for my boot camp? So this little side note, I do this boot camp every quarter. And I take people through 12 weeks of training, and I have a team report for that. Check this out. So I'm going to share this with you, and I'm sure if I asked them, all of them would consent. So I'm just going to go with it. All right, so check this out. Where'd it go? I opened it on my other screen, but I have too many things open. There it is. This is my team report. So this shows you what people are doing today. This is today. Okay, so team account, that's actually my team, my Teamzy staff. So they've connected with 102 people today. But look, these are people that are in my group. So Jackie, she's a Juice Plus distributor. She's connected with 53 people today in Teamzy. She's on fire. Lisa, she's got a double flame. That means that she's not only hit her goal of connecting with at least 20 people today, but she's also invited at least 3 people today. So she got a double flame. So this gives me an idea. Now, if I scroll all the way down to people who are doing nothing, they have this little sleepy thing.
Kurt Borey.
Okay. So now look, not everybody does Teamzy every day. And I understand that I even say it's a 5-day-a-week thing, right? So, but you can do, like, let's say you're doing a team call, you can go, for the month, and you can see how everybody's doing for the month. Okay. And then you can celebrate people, or you can do it for the week. Pretty cool, right? So of course it's Monday, so the week, it looks exactly the same as the day did, but you get the idea. All right. So the team report becomes really powerful. Now, how do you use the team report? It's really great for people who want to get things kickstarted again, do a challenge. But if you have a new person coming in, like brand new, Teamzy is like the best thing ever for a new person because they're excited. And it's like, what do I do? Look, you're going to do this thing. It's free for 30 days. We're going to get you some momentum. Here's what I want you to do is go in here, get on the webinar. We do one every week so they can learn how to use it, right? Use Teamzy for 30 days. I want to see you on my team report so that I can see what you're doing and hold you accountable to it. Okay? And this will let you know if somebody's really in the game or not. Not every distributor is going to do anything. It's like 10 out of 100, right? But you will know right away because now you've given them a clear plan of what to do, made it pretty easy for them, so you can see. But I do believe, and this is what when I met with corporate at Juice Plus, I said, I believe 10% of distributors are producers, are builders, but I believe that number should be around 20%. If people understood what to do and how to do it, I believe that number could double the people who are actually building the business, if that makes sense. So hopefully that answers the question well.
Yes, thank you.
Now, Michelle, they won't be able to see your stats unless they send you an email and pretend that you're a downline and put you on their report. But if that makes sense. All right, let's do one more. Anybody have one more question, and then I'll send you on your way because I know it's been a long training tonight.
I have just a quick question.
Sure thing.
Can you add in your own scripts? If you have something like a message that you send, at every 3 months or something, you can add your own in and save it.
Absolutely. You create your own scripts. You can upload them. You can take mine out and You can't take them out, but you can edit them and change them and resave them as yours. In fact, this is something that I found really helpful for me was I had specific emails. See, I don't believe an email is really a way to talk to people, but it's a great way as you're chatting, say, I'm going to send you an email with the information attached and with the links you need to work through this process with me. And so I had these emails that I wrote for every single product program that I recommended, and it had all the information. That's when they got the videos and things like that, when it was in context. And then in the bottom of the email, I always put, click here to learn how to purchase your product, which would take them to a Google Doc that had the step-by-step instruction on how to sign up as a distributor, or the step-by-step instruction on how to purchase the product. And I had all those in emails that I saved as scripts in Teamzy. So as I'm talking to you, Lindsay, and we're having a great conversation and I'm asking you questions, well, what are you hoping to achieve? And you're telling me your goals. I'm going to say, you know what? I really think this product line would be perfect for you. And here's why. And you say, okay, it sounds great. And I say, okay, I'm going to send you an email in a second that has all the information on what we just talked about. And it has the links on how to purchase. Keep an eye out for that. And I'll send it in a second. And I already had it written. So I would bring it up in Teamzy, change the name. They were like, wow, you're on top of it. Yeah, it just makes you look good, right? So there's lots of ways you can use the scripts. As a leader, Michelle, you can create scripts and put them like in your Facebook group and say, here's some scripts that I've made. If you guys want to add them to your Teamzy accounts, feel free to add them. We actually had, just a little side note, when we first launched Teamzy, we had scripts as an open source platform where anyone could upload a script to the community of scripts. And I thought this was going to be the greatest idea ever, right? People could upload scripts and then people would like them. And the more likes the script had, the top of the list, it would show up at the top of the list so people could use them. But it totally backfired. You know what happened? Nobody wanted people to see their scripts that weren't on their team. They're like, I don't want other teams to see my scripts. So we took that out. But doesn't it seem like that would have been a great idea? I thought it would be a great idea. It would probably be a great idea if we could do it per team, but there's no way for us to really know the genealogy of who's on what team. So anyways, all right. Well, let me say goodnight to you guys. Thank you so much for having me. I will get you the recording. I'll send it to Nicole tomorrow. You can share it with everybody. I'll send it to you too, Michelle, tomorrow, so you guys can post it up. Thank you so much for having me. It was an honor. Hopefully you got some good nuggets tonight that you can apply in your business. I hope to see you all in our Teamzy family ongoing. So God bless you. Have a great night.
Thank you. We'll see you in Sacramento.
See you guys there.
Bye.
Thank you so much.